So one of the things that we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to build a color book in Flash. This is a great interactive activity for your users. You can use this in anything actually, but for our project what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to use it so it's one of your interactive options for your user. We're going to put together 5 layers, and we need about 5 layers to cover everything that we're going to put on them. The first layer is going to have all our movie clips on them that are going to be basically the actual color pieces that we're going to color. The second layer is going to have our color swatches on it, the actual colors that they pick to color in the color book. And then the third layer is going to be the outline of our color book, or the outline of or the image that the user is going to color. The fourth layer is going to have our paintbrush on it, and then the fifth layer is going to be an action script layer, and I always put my action script layers on top. So one of the things that you can do that will help you is to name your layers so that you don't get confused. So I'm just going to put movie clips here. Okay. We can call it whatever we want later, but for right now this is just going to help me to remember what is on each layer. This one's going to be my color swatches. This one is the outline. This one is going to be my paintbrush. And then the last one is going to be my action script layer. Oops, I need to make one more layer. And layer 5 is the action script layer. So what I want to do now is I'm going to actually go in so that I can work with what I have. I'm going to go ahead and put my image on there. And what I did is I just went in and put together a little, I just kind of halfway drew a little train here so that we can play with these images, so that we can play with this. So this is our starting point basically. This is what we're going to use to color in these pieces. So we want to think about that. We want to use that in such a way that we can color and build our color book from these pieces right here. Okay, so what we have is I put this on its layer. You'll notice that we're going to have some issues and some problems right here. What I did was I took this drawing and I scanned it in and I DFX'd it, or you can just draw it yourself with the pen tool if you want. That'll be quick and easy, but what I did is I just scanned it in, and I have some open areas here, and you're going to notice something real quick that we've got to fix. But for right now, one of the easiest things, and one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and use my paint bucket, and I'm going to come in and paint my wheels. So there's my wheels. I'm just going to come in and select them all now. And I could do this one by one, but in this case when we have them paint the wheels, we'll have them paint all the wheels at one time. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to modify this, and I'm going to convert to symbol, and I'm actually going to turn it into a movie clip, and I'm going to say tires, let's say. Okay. I can make it black tires if I want. It really doesn't matter, but I want you to just give it a name for right now. I'm going to click on that. So now I've got my tires set up. The other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn them into actual buttons, because we need these to be buttons actually. So I'm going to modify this, convert to symbol, and I'm going to call it a button, and I'm going to call it tires. Hit OK, because I'm going to program this movie clip, but I want to make my movie clips. I'm going to make them all first. I'm going to make all my movie clips and turn them into buttons first, because we're going to need to know that we can track these puzzle pieces, our movie color book pieces. So I want you to think about that. We're going to use it as, but you'll notice right here it says track as button. So we're good. We're okay there. I'm going to go back to scene 1. What I want to do now is I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to hit Control X, take it out of there, and remember where I had movie clips? I'm going to drop it there. So I'm going to go Edit, Paste in Place, and I'm just going to leave those there for now. I'm not going to worry too much about them. I'm going to do the same thing with all the pieces here of the color book. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to go back to my outline, come here, and I'm just going to start kind of picking colors. I'm just going to go through and pick some colors that I can use. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to deselect my outline. I don't want to mess with the outline per se. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paint, let's say, this part of it. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn this into a movie clip, modify, convert to symbol. Let's put engineer house, make it a movie clip, hit OK. Now I want you to double click on it and we're going to turn that into a button. Convert to symbol, button, oh, and it tells me the name's already taken, so I want to just go ahead and say engine house. How's that? Eng house. Hit OK, and now I've turned it into the engine house. I go back to this scene. I'm going to grab this, hit Control X again, come down here to this, and I'm going to go ahead and edit and paste in place. So I'm going to pretty much do that for all of these little things here. Again, remember when I select this, it ends up selecting the outline, and I don't want to select that. Eventually I'm going to turn that into a movie clip also, this little outline. So go through the process, and we're going to make all of these pieces. Be careful, because you're going to probably have to seal this one piece or figure out how to make that block one big piece. But go through and make all your movie clips, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so you should have made all of your puzzle pieces, or the coloring book pieces, I'm sorry, the coloring book pieces, and put them on the first layer. Like you can see that all of these have been done. Now what I want you to do is I'm going to select the outline layer, and I want to turn that into a movie clip so that it keeps all its pieces and parts and it can't be jerked around. I'm just going to call this outline. So in case we accidentally select it, we don't change it or distort it or do anything like that. Let's say train outline. Okay. Okay, so we have our outline as a movie clip, and now we have each of our pieces here as movie clips, and you'll see all these little dots, and that tells us that every one of these pieces has been selected and made into a movie clip. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each piece, and I'm going to go through. I'm just going to click on it once. I'm going to change my color. I'm going to change the color from none to tint. And I see that it's 0 and it's 100%. I want it to be white. And the reason we want it to be white is because we're going to program this color book piece with some action scripting that will allow this white to take on a new color. So I'm going to go through every one of these pieces, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to change the tint to 100% on each one of these, so that all of these now become white pieces. What we're doing is we're leaving the piece there, and it's really going to stay in its original color, because if I double click this piece, you'll notice that the button itself right here is that color. So all I'm doing is I'm changing the top layer. There's two layers here. There's the movie clip layer, and under the movie clip layer is the button layer, and we're going to program that to take on the parameters of the color swatches when we select them. It's a little confusing right now, but I think you'll understand once we go through and I demonstrate it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to change the tint on all of these, and I want you to do the same thing. Go to tint. If this isn't white, 255, 255, 255, and 100%, then you want to make it that. Okay? And as I go through, now we have the tint changed on all of them. Okay, so now we're back to what we had before, which is basically the color book in its original form. I'm going to go in, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these because I need some room for my little, I'm going to move them up. I need some room for my swatches because I'm going to make my color swatches now. Okay, so go ahead, hit Control S, save this. What you want to do is go ahead and save it as colorbook. Or you can save it as animal color book or jungle color book or whatever it is, because you really are going to take a drawing, or you can go online and get a color book page. What we're looking for is a black and white drawing, okay, that you can use to make your color book. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my desktop, hit OK and hit save, and I want to make sure it says color book right here. So now I've gone, this is where you should be. There aren't any color swatches yet. Our paintbrush we haven't constructed, and we haven't done this action scripting yet, but we will. Don't worry, we still got a lot of programming to do. So go through, make your changes, and then we're going to come back to this spot again. Okay, so you've gotten your pieces all made. Now it's time to go ahead and program these movie clips. What we're going to do when we program the movie clip is we're going to actually tell the computer or the program to do something with this movie clip, and we're going to put some action scripting on it. And what this is going to do is allow this movie clip to accept a color. So what we're going to say is on release, and we can just click that right there, double click that. On release, we're going to say we want it to do something, and this is the bracket, so pay attention. It's real important to look at how this looks. Hit enter, and we're going to say I color, okay, and that's we're going to define the color, the eye color, in a minute when we play with our swatches. Eye color equals new color, okay, this. We want this to take on the new color, the eye color, or the eye color equals new color, this, and then we're going to say eye color, okay, dot set RGB, double click that, and then we're going to go to the root or the sub menu, the main portion of our menu, and hit fill color, because we're going to call this out in a minute. We're going to give this a name. We're going to give that fill color a name in a minute, and then we're going to say delete eye color. Okay, so what we've done is we've called this eye color, and we're going to say we want this new color on this, and then we say eye color dot set RGB root fill color. That little swatch in the main menu in scene 1, the root, scene 1 is considered the root, is going to be called a fill color, and then we're going to give that fill color a number, and then what it's going to do is delete the eye color. So it's going to get rid of this purple and turn it into something else. We're going to terminate our programming line and end the program, close the brackets, and so now making sure that all of this is correct and we don't have any programming errors. We can always click debug, but we don't have any programming errors, so there's debug options. It says set breakpoint, that's it. We can remove breakpoint, doesn't really matter, but this is it. This is the program that we're going to put on every single piece. Okay, every movie clip we made, this is the exact same programming action scripting we're going to put on them. So all I'm going to do is hit Control C for copy. Okay, I'm going to close that. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to do the exact same thing, except this time all I have to do is copy and paste it. How much easier could that be? So when you're all done copying, pasting that on every one of your little pieces here, we'll come back and then I'll tell you what to do next. So go ahead and do this. Finish setting this color, the scripting on each movie clip, and then when we come back, I'll show you what we're going to do next.